Okay, this is Rick McMillin again, and I'm trying to do a comparison between some battery-powered trimmers or weed eaters, compare them to a gas-powered one I have, and just give you an idea how well they work and what some of the advantages and disadvantages are of each of these. Just received yesterday a brand new Earthwise 12-inch 18-volt battery-powered trimmer. On the left, the green one. The middle one is a Sears Craftsman I've had about a year. Same thing, 12-inch, 18-volt. The one on the right is a Ryobi. I've had the motor probably a year. I've had the extension several years. It's much more powerful than the Sears. I haven't tried the brand new Earthwise yet, and that's part of the reason for the video, is just kind of show first impressions. But I'll show you some of the basic differences. The gas powered on the right is much more powerful. You can see it has two strings coming out, one on each side of the head. You can tell there's a big difference between those two spools. Well, here's the head of the brand new trimmer. You can see it's got a very small head. You take this out, it's got a small spool inside that you can take out, and it's very similar to the, if not exactly the same, Sears. It's the same kind of head. It's got a small spool that you can easily take out, and you hand wind it. Here's the head. Here's the head of the Ryobi gas powered. You can see it's a very large head with string coming out both sides, and it's a very thick string. That's 0.095. Both electrics have a 0.65. And you can see this one's a braided line. It's twisted so that it gets better cutting power. So that design is supposed to be more effective, and it has been very effective for me. It's been very efficient in cutting grass. It's not as powerful for edging, but for trimming it works just great. Sears has a very small battery. Trimmer I just got, the Earthwise, is quite a bit bigger. You can see it's 2.6 amps per hour. I don't know what this is rated, 1.3 amps per hour. So this has got twice the power of the Sears. So it should theoretically last, I think, twice as long or have more power. Now I think the power is in the voltage, which they're both 18 volts, so I'm assuming the power will be the same. But this should last twice as long. The battery's twice as big, so it makes sense that it would. The Sears wouldn't last for a full edging and trimming. I could get most of the trimming done, none of the edging done. Or I could get all the edging done and maybe half the trimming done. The Sears didn't work for me well enough. And that's why I decided to buy the Earthwise, because it does have the bigger battery, and I figured the cost of buying the complete kit of the Earthwise wasn't much more than just buying a spare battery for the Sears. Okay, here's a close-up of a spool that goes into the gas-powered. It's a lot bigger. It's got two channels, one for each side of the string that sticks out each side of the head. This is the electric-powered ones. This is the size of the spool for it. I think, I haven't tried these yet. I bought these Works pre-threaded or pre-rolled spools that I should be able to just pop in there. I haven't tried them yet to see if they work, but they look like they're the right size. Here, I'll just take a quick look at this one. Doesn't have the braided line, so I'm not going to use. Well, maybe I'll use it today and just try it, make sure. But it fits. It fits just fine. So looks like I could probably go ahead and use it. So that'll be convenient to have these pre-spooled, pre-rolled, and just pop them in and out as you need them. Where before I was having to stop and hand thread each one of these. So that's really how easy it is, just changing out the spool. So having these, that's really handy, because hand threading those big spools are really difficult and time consuming. So you got to start each side separately and wind them to the same length. So you can see the difference in size. It's a huge difference in size. And so these are more convenient, but they don't last as long. They last longer than you might think though. For some reason, at least the braided ones are pretty tough, and so they go pretty long before you need to go in and change them out, even though the spool itself is smaller. I haven't really timed it to tell you for sure, but it seems about the same to me. If you hand spool, this is what I use for the electric, 0.065 inch diameter braided line. They call it spiral shape. Improves energy efficiency, it says, and reduces noise, but I think it cuts better too, you know, or you can drop these in. But I just as soon re-spool these during my leisure in between the trimming times while I'm watching TV or something. And if you have like 6 of them like I just bought, you can wait till most of them are gone, sit down and spool them up by hand while you're watching TV and save some money. Okay, I've gone over some of the advantages of the electric trimmers. They are lighter. You can hold them up easily with one hand. But the big advantage of the gas is power. And the main thing that does is it gives you twice the cutting by having 2 strings coming out, one on each side instead of just one. But the other big advantage, and the thing I really like about the gas power that I don't think the electrics will provide for quite a while, are all the accessories you can get to work off of the same motor. Now you have one motor here, but you have all these extensions that you can put on the end. Right now I have a trimmer, but here I have an edger, a metal edger, and it really does a fine job. Now you can use a trimmer to edge, and it works just fine, but, and this blade's wore down quite a bit. A metal blade is going to do a much better job. It'll actually cut into your dirt and kind of dig out a trench, which is better, I think, anyway. So that's one advantage. You can get an edger. Here's a saw blade, a Ryobi saw blade, which I've used to trim branches out of my trees. And so for purchasing one motor, of course these extensions are pretty expensive, so it's not like they're free, but it's cheaper than buying a whole, you know, edger or a tree trimmer. Now the Black & Decker version, which I didn't buy because it's a little more expensive, does allow you to use the same battery for a leaf blower and a small electric chainsaw. So that might have some advantages, but I'm not really looking to do that at this point. Right now, I just needed something to allow me to finish trimming my yard without having to recharge the battery. So that's why I got the new Earthwise. Why don't I go ahead and explain one other difference, and that is the starting. This one's a 3-step process. And I'm going to go over it right now and let you see all the steps involved in getting the gas mower running. And that's really the main reason I've gone to electric, is because this is so cumbersome. For one thing, you have to put gasoline that has oil in it at a certain mix. So you have to use 2-stroke oil and mix it in your gasoline before you put it in here. And before you stop it, see, there's 3 steps here. You start with full choke. Well, before you do that, you prime it 10 times. So here's the prime. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then you turn the choke down to full. Pull it 4 times max and wait for it to attempt to start. And there it did the second one. That was pretty quick. Then you go to half. And you pull 6 times maximum to get it to start on max. Then you take it off the choke completely, and it's ready to go. So it's really loud. With the electric, this is what you do on the electric. And let me bring this up a little bit. On the electric, you take your battery, you plug it in, you hold your safety, and you're going. And you can tell from that it's not nearly as loud And this is an auto feed. You don't have to bump it, supposedly. Sometimes I have to do it manually. You can tell it's much more convenient. It's really light, easy to start. I don't have to worry about adding gas or mixing gas or priming it, pumping it, and pulling that cord a million times. I'm getting old. I'm not 60 yet, but I'm getting there. And I'm tired of pulling on the cord to start everything. By the way, I just want to mention this is the charger for the Earthwise battery. All you do is snap it in, make sure you plug it in, and wait for the light to turn green. You can see the difference here in comparison with charger and battery. The battery's on top here, battery's on bottom here. You can see the difference. Okay, there's the gas. There's the electric. The electric's a whole lot quieter in this case. Okay, here's the battery. Battery should pop right in there. Now you can manually advance this by pushing this button in and just pulling it out to the right length. Sounds very powerful. And here's the Sears. That sounds pretty good too. It has a button here so that you can change the angle for it also. Earthwise. Seems to be doing all right. The auto trimmer seems to be feeding the line just right. Here's the Sears. Seems like plenty of power, so both of them seem to work pretty good. Now I'm going to do the gas. Well, the gasoline is much more powerful, but the electric is adequate. It has enough power to do the job. It just doesn't blow it away like the gasoline. Well, the string broke, so I had to take it out and re-thread it. That happens a lot. But with the electric, it's easy enough to fix. Finished mowing the yard and edging, and the Earthwise grass trimmer seemed to do the job just fine. I was able to do the edging and the trimming all around the yard, front and back, without needing to change the battery or recharge it. So it does last longer than the Sears does and seems to solve my problem. It's not as powerful as the gas, but then it's got a lot of other advantages. So, and there's Charlie. Okay, just want to let you know, worked out pretty well. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Hope it was helpful. Bye.